Hello, sweet friend. My name is Micah, and I'm here with the Hobonichi Cousin, which I'm back in. And I also have made myself a hot chocolate. So we are going to have a little chat about this little thing right here, and also about this beauty right here. Oh my goodness. And I'm also gonna flip through some pages. So it's a little bit of a chat and flip through in one video. So if that sounds like something fun and cozy, then stick around. So if you're new here, this might not be such a surprise, but if you've been around for a while, you know that I've tried this out in July when this EVEC started, and I didn't make it very far. So I think I was consistent. Oh, let's get that plant a little bit out of the way. I think I was consistent for about 20-ish days. And for that time, I was really loving it. I really got a lot out of it. At that time, I was also trying to play around with like creative writing. So I thought, wow, the big page is great to just get back into writing, even if it's just about daily events, you know. But then, as you can see, I didn't make it to the end of July. And even before then, I had done the Hobonichi Hon in A6 and had fallen off and had big gaps in between. So my track record for dated daily pages isn't great for this year. Not great at all. So then the question is, Micah, why are you back in an A5 of all things and have bought the cousin for next year? Well, I think it comes down to two reasons, and I'm just going to flip through this so you have something to look at. And so the two reasons are, one, as I've been flipping through all of the journals that I've kept this year in preparation of figuring out my lineup for 2025, I realized that the dated daily page does make me more consistent in journaling. Like, I journal more if there is a dated page waiting for me. So I do want to lean into that. I do want to encourage myself to journal more, because journaling more for me leads to journaling more about the little things, the small moments, the sweet things, the things that I just tend to overlook when I just have an undated journal. I tend to overthink what is or isn't worth journaling about. And for me, that just gets streamlined if there just is a daily page waiting for me. And then the reason number two, as I was just reflecting more on this, was I don't think I fell off because it is stressful to keep a daily page. Now, granted, that sometimes is stressful. But I think my problem is that I've been letting myself go, or letting it slide, and then I would have to catch up on 1 to 2 weeks at a time, and that of course isn't fun, because then I don't remember what happened that day or what I noticed that day, and so it's a lot more work to catch up than it is to just do it every day. So part of why daily journaling was so hard for me this year was because I'm missing the routine and I'm missing the intention. And so if I can build up the routine, I think I'm gonna get back on a streak. And I do feel more grounded and more creative and more like myself if I can journal on a regular basis. And so, yeah, there's just something about the dated daily page that I want to commit to for 2025. And speaking of commitment and intentions, that's why I got the cousin instead of the EVEC, because I don't want to have the opportunity to switch in July. I think part of this year and all the not the planner hopping, I don't actually planner hop, the journal hopping has been because I've allowed myself to try this. And then once I open the door to, let's try this book, let's try that size, I just go endlessly. Like, then I can't even commit to the next book, right? Then it's just all the other possibilities that I could be using. And so I'm very much looking forward to being in one book, being really intentional about this and about taking the time every day to just be creative and let myself journal and have the big A5 page to collage, draw, write on a single page and just have that be all together. So yeah, really, really excited. And of course, this year, there's a lot of talk about the paper that seems to be behaving differently. And that was a main concern of mine, not necessarily about being able to use fountain pens, because I don't mind drawing with, for example, the Uni Jetstream. I was more concerned about being able to use watercolors. But it seems like I got somewhat lucky with mine. So there's no feathering on my Diatramentis black ink, but there is feathering with the Diatramentis Document Urban Sienna, which is very strange. So there's a little bit of feathering. I don't know if you can see that. And it also bleeds through to the other side. That's this one right here, which is very strange because obviously Diatramentis, the document line, they're both from the same ink line. I guess the colors are formulated differently, so that would be behaving differently, because I also tried the Document Brown in the Pilot Kakuno in Extra Fine, and that one is also slightly feathering, and the color looks really strange. Like, it has a very matte look to it, very desaturated. So really, really strange. So at first I thought, well, maybe this is feathering because this is a thicker line weight than the TWSBI. But the Pilot is one of my finest pens, and even that feathers. So yeah, strange. But I guess will be sticking to the black. So yeah, that's fine by me though. And luckily the Tombow markers don't bleed through, and the watercolor is fine as well. But I do agree with what a lot of other people have said, and that is that the paper seems thinner, that overall there's more ghosting, and it is strange that certain inks do not perform the same as they did before. But I must say that at least the line weights seem to be consistent, whereas the Hobonichi weeks for this year, there's definitely something that happens where the lines are thicker. So look at this. So this is the TWSBI Fine right here with the Document Black. And then if we compare that to the Cousin for next year, these two, that does not look like the same pen, but it is. So yeah, really inconsistent, but I think I got lucky. So this will work for me. I probably have to be a little bit constrained with watercolor, because otherwise this is gonna be really, really fluffy. So yeah, I'm gonna do a setup video soon, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And I am considering, tell me if this is a bad idea, I am considering covering it with this fabric to basically make my own little hone version, except with the DIY approach. And I know that I could have just bought a hone, but I was not sure whether or not that, like, Liberty Fabrics with that yellow, I wasn't sure if the yellow was gonna get tiresome after a while for me personally. So yeah, let me know if you think that this is a bad idea, or if you have experience with covering a big book like this in fabric, and if I should take anything into consideration there. Yeah, so that's that. Let's take a quick sip of hot chocolate. But let's take a look at a couple of pages that I've done. Yeah, for one, something that also I realized about going back into this and also makes me excited for the cousin next year is that I finally know what to do with the weekly pages. That was different in July. I just couldn't wrap my head around what to do with this. And then I always felt like if I buy the book, then, you know, there's this huge section at the beginning that I'm not using. So what am I paying the price for, kind of thing? But my experimentation with journaling in the weeks for a couple of weeks made me realize that I do like being able to have a log, like a daily log, because on the daily pages I might feature a specific thing, but then not mention other things. And so then, I hope I'm making sense at all. But I was feeling like with the daily pages, I was putting so much time into making them and still not capturing everything. And I've had a hard time finding certain information, like when I did this or when I ordered that. And so this is what I'm doing with the weekly pages. So I'm just quickly recapping the day, pointing out certain special recipes that I tried, what we were watching. So here we watched Paper Moon, here we started Silo Season 2, those kinds of things. And yeah, this is working great. And then I decorate a little bit, and that's also very fun to use stickers and decorations in this way, which is a little different from, I at least feel a little bit more playful with this. Yeah, so this has been great. This week looks a little sparse, simply because I forgot to pre-decorate a little bit, and then the week got so busy that all I've been doing is just quickly making some notes and doodling some things. So that's definitely something for myself to keep in mind, that I do benefit from having a little bit of pre-decoration on the page. But yeah, so the weeklies are going to be my just quick logging, have all the information at a glance, those kinds of things. And I think that's going to be very useful. But then, of course, the main event is the daily pages. And like I said, I've been having so much fun. It really is just finding the time every day to sit down. And once I do, this is just such a joy to work on, just let myself go, play around. So for example, here on this day, my husband and I took it really easy and made it cozy in the home. And so instead of drawing us, I drew these two bears, and they're having like a cozy hangout in this tree. Super cute. So this whole idea of it's not even representational, but it captures the mood and what it felt like. And now I want to turn this into like a legit illustration. So that's kind of fun. It helps with idea generation, which I'm really excited about. And then here we have a mix of like a big sticker from my subscription Cat Collage Club, the printables. But then also this is supposed to be me. And again, not being too literal. So my husband called me on my cell phone while he was out. And we had a really sweet conversation. And so because I think cell phones tend to not look so great as an illustration, I drew this old school phone, and that was really fun. And I like this limited color palette here with the Tombos. So I guess I'm going to be playing around with that some more next year, because I probably am going to limit the watercolor that I use on that thinner paper. And here again, just drawing myself, taking photos for the day, and then including the photos that I took down here. Probably a little small. I think I could go a little bigger, but you know, that's fine. And then again, playing around with journaling about different things with the invisible line and really liking the sort of columns that creates. Yeah, on this day we watched Paper Moon, or rewatched Paper Moon, and my husband and I really, really loved that movie, and so wrote down some thoughts on the movie. Really fun. And then here again, the same idea with an illustration that captures the mood of the day. So this fox is supposed to be me. I was having to do a lot of drawing, and I did it in bed because that was so warm and cozy, and it was so gray outside. I can highly recommend if you work from home to do a bed office day. But because our bed isn't particularly cute, I drew this really fun, like iron work kind of bed, and included this fun patchwork blanket, and yeah, just having fun with expressing what it felt like without, yeah, being too literal about it. And then here we have some thoughts on journals. I ended up not going with, I don't think I went with any of these, but I'll have a dedicated journal lineup video coming out soon. And then here again, just thoughts about something that my husband and I watched. We watched this documentary called American Movie. Let me know if you've seen that. It's quite old. Yeah, it's from 1999. And so I made this little info box here and just wrote down a couple, just, yeah, really information in regards to what this is, and then some quotes, and then I drew the main characters. And then, yeah, here we have a page where I did have a FaceTime call with my sister and my niece, and my niece is so adorable, and so I drew her here, and yeah, I just included some collaging, and this page really made me feel like, oh yeah, this is what you get when you do an A5 journal. You have the space to, you know, include a little bit of patterns and fun bits and pieces, but also draw and write enough for the drawings to have context. That's just great. Yeah, so this, I feel like this page really sold it for me. And then here, I just did a little, I don't know if you would call it a comic, but it's this thing where I'm having a hard time falling asleep, but then in the mornings I also have a hard time waking up. So I wish that was reversed. That would be great. It's kind of interesting too, because I drew myself on the wrong side of the bed, so I'm actually sleeping on this side and my husband is sleeping on that side. Just kind of interesting how that sometimes happens. I don't know. And I guess the colors don't really say nighttime and morning, but it's fine. Just playing around, even just getting back into drawing characters and environments, I'm really excited about. So yeah. And then on this day, on this Wednesday here, I was cleaning up my desk and my little cart, my rolling cart with all my stationery and stuff, and just trying to, sift through what I'm actually still using and what not. And there were a couple pieces that I just couldn't throw away, but I've also not used in the years that I've had them. And so I just glued them on the page, and I think it's really sweet. And so now they can just be here on the page forever. And I particularly love this design. This was a design I made for a sticker a couple years ago now, but I never actually made this, but it's really sweet. I like it anyway. I don't even know where this is from, if somebody sent that to me in Happy Mail, or if it was actually a coupon or just some packaging, but yeah, I really like this horse. So yeah, just some fun pieces, and such an easy way to make a page. If you just have a lot of things, ephemera laying around on your desk and you just don't know what to do with it, just make a little page with it. Do a little desk cleanup and put the results in your journal. Yeah, here again, I was drawing all day, and so instead of drawing me, I drew this mouse having a good time, drawing I guess that's a teddy bear maybe, and having some tea and some cookies, and they have their little stuffed animal cat friend sitting with them. So yeah, again, I thought this was a lot sweeter than drawing myself. And yeah, again, one of those things that I think I want to turn into a quote-unquote real illustration. Yeah, just having a lot of fun with that. And this day I was filming my Hobonichi Weeks setup video and decided to include these photos here because I felt like a lot of how I decorated my Hobonichi Weeks really speaks to some of the aesthetics that I've been into lately. And so I just find that kind of stuff fascinating to capture too, because those things do change. If I look back at older journals and what I thought was really cool now has changed a little bit, subtly, but it does change for me. So I thought that was quite nice to include here. And then this is more writing based, but this is actually about journaling. Because in all of these reflections about what I want to do with my journal lineup for next year and things like that, this image came to mind of a used bar of soap. That's kind of how I feel about my memory lately. A lot of it feels like a used bar of soap where if, for example, on a Friday, I try to remember what I did on a Monday, it's not really clear. It feels very shapeless, like a used bar of soap. And so one thing about getting back into and being really intentional about daily journaling is to try and hold on, right? Keep the shape of my memories better. One, because I am journaling about them. But two, I find even going into the day with the intention of I'm going to journal about this day later on. So, you know, keep your attention up of what you want to feature in your journal tonight. Really helps me be more in the moment and recognize certain things as like, oh yeah, this is gonna be my journal entry for today. And here, this is so fun, right? I made some zipper pouches for my husband as a birthday present. So shh, his birthday is next week, so this is a surprise. But yeah, this is an offcut from the fabric that I used for the pouches. And these dogs are so cute. And I love that this is like tipped in. This is so fun. But yeah, the tack, what do you call that? Is really, really thick. So you obviously can't do that too much. But yes, very, very fun. And yeah, this cat I had done a couple months ago for Cat Collage Club. Somebody requested some sewing cats. And so I was happy that I was able to use that finally in a spread. Really, really fun. And then I am currently 4 days behind, which this is dangerous territory. But I did make some notes here, and then I already penciled in what I want to draw for these 2 days. So it's not too bad. I think you can sort of see there. This is me and my husband just having a creative session at our kitchen table, and then here we were watching a movie all bundled up on the couch. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty okay to catch up on. But yeah, I'm having so much fun, and again, it is the work is in establishing the routine and being intentional about it and knowing why I'm doing this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this chat and enjoyed seeing these first pages again. And yeah, please let me know if you think this is a good idea. I am pretty in love with this fabric, and I kind of really want that. But yeah. Oh, and also let me know if you would want to see a video on how I do that. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Let me know how your journaling is going right now, and I hope you stay warm and cozy. Until next time, happy journaling.